All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Black Diamond Podcast. Thank you for everybody who is coming in. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed to the channel. If you haven't by now, subscribe, support me. You know, we're on the road to 1K, and leave a comment. Right, tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about my opinions. Let me know if you disagree or agree. And yeah, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Black Diamond Pod. And yeah, check on my content, man. We're going live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7:30. Guest, no guest, advice, opinions, whatever you want, I'm going to discuss. Trending topics, not trending topics. Today's going to be a little bit different. It's Monday. And, we're not going to get distracted by the whole rap beef, which is taking over the internet right now. We are going to give you something a little bit different. And shout out to everybody who's watching this pre-recorded. Shout out to everybody who's watching this live right now. But if you're watching this pre-recorded, shout out to you. This is gonna be some helpful advice for all the young men right now out there starting their career, or just someone who's really trying to put in the work, trying to better themselves. And I think we're gonna save Mondays. We're gonna call it Motivation Mondays, right? So content that's really gonna help you level up, content that's gonna motivate you to do better. I'm gonna give that to you guys. And you see the topic. We're gonna talk about how to land that job so you can land that lady. All right. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what that means, what it doesn't mean. And we're going to go straight into this topic. All right. So this episode is going to be about how to land that job with or without a degree, right? For all my brothers who are in, trade workers, or, say you're just grinding out there right now and you're not getting the results you want when you go on these interviews. I'm going to give you 5 steps on how to prepare yourself for that interview. Right? And let me know in the comments which camera angle you guys like better. I kind of like this one. We'll see. It's a little bit more personal. All right, bear with me, guys. I also got a little headache. See me drinking water. Also, if you follow me on Twitter or anything else, I go live on Twitter too. Follow me on there. And yeah, just tap in, guys. Tap in. Leave a comment, leave a like. All right. So, how to land that job and get that lady, right? There's a quote I want to give you guys before we get into this. It's, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. It's a quote by none other Abraham Lincoln. What that means is, if you're given something or you have a task to do, you want to spend majority of your time preparing for that task rather than just rushing into that task unprepared. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. Preparation is key. And without it, you're not going to give yourself the best chances to be successful at the interview. Right. So we're going to discuss the 5 most important steps to take when preparing for an interview so you can land that job. When you land that job, get the money, get the money, get the ladies. All right. All right. So the first thing that's important on this list is going to be looks. This is going to be all about your appearance and how you're representing yourself to the world. This is going to be a combination of cleanliness, style, and physique. Remember that. Cleanliness is important because not only will it make you look good and smell good, but you also feel good inside about yourself and how you're presenting yourself. Right. For the most part, a big portion of this is going to be your hair. What hairstyle you choose, your haircut. Getting a haircut is important. It's going to be one of the most important things you should do. If you have an interview or something like that, make sure you have a fresh haircut. You don't want anything that's making you look rough or, dingy. If you have longer hair, like I do, like myself, I got my locks, right? You want to make sure your locks are in an appropriate a work appropriate style, right? Me, I go to the bun, you know, updo, but don't try to keep anything that's down. Also, if you have long hair, make sure it's clean, it looks fresh, it's retwisted. For the most part, I would say if you're a young black man watching this, or any man watching this, really, don't grow your hair out until you're really settled within your career and you have some skills behind your name that you can really sell to other people. Because long hair, a lot of times, is going to set you back. People are going to see you as something a little bit more wild, right? With long hair, you can't really wash it all the time, right? So you want to make sure you have something that's easy, comfortable, and looks appropriate at all times. Fade, short fade, um, low afro, top fade is cool. But stay away from long hair. I know it may sound like a hypocrite because I have long hair, but I didn't grow my hair out actually until I was, way like maybe 5 years into my career already, right? And I had some experience and skills behind my name. So definitely don't rush on getting your hair done or growing out your hair. Cut it, cut that shit off. If you have an afro and it looks wild, cut that shit. Right? Get a fade. If you have locks and you're like in high school or college, cut that shit. You don't need that shit. Get with the Caesar until you get some skills, get some experience. You could really sell yourself. Until then, rock something that's easy, man. Trust me, it's gonna pay off. People are gonna tell you, oh, you shouldn't judge. Your company shouldn't judge you off your hair. Listen, everybody's gonna judge you. So do what needs to be done. Uh, now, with that, your hairline is going to be important, right? With a haircut, you want to make sure your hairline is crisp before the interview. You want to make sure your beard is crisp. If you don't have a beard, you want to make sure you don't have any scragglies or anything. So just cut that off. Clean shaven is usually pretty good to go. And yeah, just make sure everything is nice and neat, guys. You want to go for the neat gentleman look when you're going for these interviews. Presentation and appearance is going to be everything, right? First impressions are everything. They're lasting. The first time someone sees you is how they're going to remember you, right? So remember that. Now, style, okay? Depending on the setting, you can go for a business casual look, or you can go for a formal business look, which means suit. Business casual would be more like a button down and maybe a tie, or you can just go for a button down, a polo. If the job now is asking for, maybe it's a senior level job, right? And you need a lot of experience. Maybe it comes with a bigger salary. Maybe it would pay off to go for something a little bit more formal, right? It wouldn't hurt to go in that suit, right? It never hurts to go in a suit as long as it looks appropriate on you. You get it nice and fitted. You don't want anything baggy. You want to make sure you look good in a suit and not just, a guy in a suit. You want to make the suit be the man in the suit, right? Yeah, depending on the position, if it's a senior level or it's a higher level position, go for the suit. I would say if you're getting paid into the high six figures, yeah, it doesn't hurt to wear a suit, guys. For physique now, right? This may be more challenging for my people who are still grinding out there, right? The bare minimum, I always say, is going to the gym at least 3 days a week. But say you're starting off on your fitness journey, but you still want to get a better job. You still want to elevate yourself, right? Good for you. Okay. Physique is not only your frame, but it's also going to be, for all my gym goers out there, your form, your stature, your posture, right? Shoulders back, sit up straight in your seat or while you're standing, and make sure that you give off confidence, right? You give off like you know what you're talking about. If you're always slunched over, shoulders down, you're not going to give off that confidence, that appeal that everybody's looking for. Leaders, when they talk, shoulders are back, chest is up, and they look straight at you, right? So when I talk about physique, I'm talking about just your form, your stature, how you are overall as a man, right? Yeah, just prioritize posture, guys. Make sure that when you talk and your body language communicates to other people confidence. And when people look at you, they see a confident man, not somebody who's unsure of himself. All right, let me take a little sip of water, guys. All right, you want to do research. Second step, that was the first one. First one was looks, right? So we talked about looks, we talked about cleanliness, style, and physique. Second point I want to talk about is research. This not only involves doing research on the company, but also doing research on your own skill set, making sure that you're comfortable in talking about what you have worked on or what you want to work on in the future. You'll want to make sure that the company's values and mission aligns with your purpose and your beliefs, right? You don't just want to join a company just to join a company, right? You could be doing Sane's work, right? So you want to make sure that their mission and your mission are aligned. That's going to be important, especially when you're talking about a career or something you want to be in for a couple years. You'll want to study your resume so that you can answer any question about your skill set or projects that you worked on. Right. You also want to have a list of projects that you worked on. Right. You don't want to have an empty resume. Don't just want to have just bullet points. You want to have a list of projects and examples of situations that you've worked on your resume. So do research on the company, research on your resume, and make sure you're fully prepared when that comes. All right. You don't want to be the person who doesn't know anything about the company that they're applying for the day of the interview, right? You want to be prepared. You also want to know stuff about your own skills. All right. Point three, it's going to be a setting and timeliness. It may sound a little bit different, like, oh, it doesn't make much sense. Well, I combine these two due to the fact that so many interviews nowadays are actually virtual, right? A lot of the rounds, first rounds at least, are going to be virtual. And then you'll possibly get that second round interview, which is going to be in person, right? Or maybe not, maybe it's a remote job, right? So it's important that your setting is going to be quiet, comfortable, and peaceful, okay? You don't want to be in an environment that has a lot of background noise or kids or family running around. You want to make sure that you have a peaceful, quiet environment. This could either be in your home or in an office somewhere or in a library. So there's somewhere quiet. You want to ensure that your computer, camera, and mic are all fully functional. You want to test this an hour beforehand, and then you want to test it again 10 to 15 minutes before the interview. You want to make sure everything's working, computer's charged, camera's up and working, and mic is charged. I can't tell you how many times I've interviewed people and their computer has died in the middle of the interview. And what that shows is just a lack of preparedness and a lack of awareness, right? You didn't know your laptop was dying. You didn't know you're like, come on, make sure all of that is prepared, guys. If you're going for an in person interview, then you should already know that if you arrive on time, then you're late, right? You should be on site 15 minutes prior to when the interview is supposed to begin, right? This way, you can take time out to control any nerves, bring down any stress or anxiety that you're feeling, and also time to review any material that you may need to brush up on your resume from step two, right? Okay. Fourth point we're going to get into now is resume preparedness. All right. If you haven't already, your resume should be looked over by a group of people. Preferably, this group of people should be someone in the same industry as you. Could be a colleague, coworker, someone who has experience doing what you do, someone who can validate your projects and can make sure that your resume doesn't sound like crap. Okay. If you just ask people who aren't in the industry as you or family members, they may be able to give you an opinion on it, but they won't be able to give you an opinion where it's going to be from a perspective of your industry. So that's going to be important. You want someone who's going to give you an opinion from your industry. All right. Colleague or coworker. Remember that, guys. All right. But if you don't have anybody, then what you should do is pay for a service that's going to get this done for you. Okay. If you have nobody in your industry that you can talk to, there's a bunch of different resume services out there that will go over your resume and give you an opinion. There's actually a couple free ones. Off the top of my head, Top Resume, Worded, and they will score your resume based on keywords, grammar, functionality, right? If the words and the points make sense, formatting, all of that is important. You can actually pay for people to help get your resume done as well. But definitely make sure you get another set of eyes looking over your resume. All right. What else do we have here? Okay, let me services that you can pay for. Also, keep in mind that when you're building and crafting your resume, you need to have you need to have projects that you worked on at each company that you've worked for, right? Not just responsibilities and duties. You need to have actual real world examples that you can communicate to the interviewer. And with this, right, you need to have three projects that you can remember off the top of your head. Why is this important? Because when someone asks, well, tell me a time when you struggled with something and overcame it, you already have in your mind three projects that you've currently worked on that can fit in any situation, right? So try to make them a little bit ambiguous and they can and modify them, tailor them, I should say, to the question that the interviewer might ask you. Okay. Come with three projects from it could be the current role you're at now, or if it was really special, you could bring it up from a previous employer. And make sure you can talk about these projects in detail. Make sure you played a significant part, not a huge, significant part within the project that you're talking about. Guys, I'm taking another sip. I got a headache, guys. So take a little sip of water. All right. So, like I said, you're not going to be on your resume, you're not just going to list out responsibilities and duties. That's not enough. You need examples and projects, right? So just taking whatever you have from the job description and putting on your resume, which I did plenty of times, doesn't work. You need to be able to craft something that shows that you've succeeded, that you've done well, and also adding statistics, numbers, facts. Okay, for example, you worked on a project that reduced the amount of time it took to do something, or you increased the efficiency on something. Provide numbers with each of those data points or project examples that you're going to be listing. That's going to be important as well, right? Because people love numbers. They love to see that you improve something and track something. Shows that you're good at managing tasks. Shows that you're organized and you have a analytical mindset. Another tip to help you out with answering questions that the interviewer might ask is going to be the STAR format, right? STAR, acronym for situation, task, action, and result. So, a quick breakdown of what this is going to look like is you're going to give them a situation. For example, say you had an issue working on 100 computers, right? You're going to give a quick synopsis of what that is. Oh, I worked on 100 computers that had a virus, right? And the task is to apply an update that would get rid of all the malware on the laptops. And the action is going to be what you did. So you say, I deployed it using this software and we were able to get it done within 2 hours before the estimated time. The result being that all the laptops found to be clean afterwards and all the updates were applied and everything was secure all over again, right? So that's a quick example of the star format. Modify that to your position to your employer and the role that you're working for. All right, guys. Last one, last point. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment, send me a message on Instagram or anything. I'll definitely get back to you. Even if you need me to review your resume, let me know, guys. I've been in the IT industry for a while, so if you have any questions about getting in that space or what you want to do within IT because it's so vast right now, let me know. We got step number 5. Okay, nerves and anxiety. Right, this is going to be a key one because a lot of people, like myself, we all get anxious, we all get nervous at times, especially when you have a high paying job on the line and it's a company that you really want to work for. You need to understand that they want to interview you. You need to have this mindset. They want to interview you because they believe you're already qualified for the position. And they want you to communicate that through the interview with examples and body language. So this kind of ties in everything that we talked about: physique, style, preparedness, the analytical mindset. You need to be able to communicate all of that through this interview to ensure them that you are the right person for this job. And let's say you may not have all the skills just yet, right? Well, as long as you're open to learning those new skills, you're a hard worker, you're dedicated to learning and continue learning and improving yourself. Maybe they'll overlook the lack of skills that you have, right? You never know. But you have to be able to convey that through the interview, right? And if you can't, there's going to be an issue. So use the time beforehand. So like I said, if you're going to an interview and you're on time, you're late. So take 15 minutes before the interview to do anything that helps you calm your nerves and really and reduce the stress for yourself. For me, I would say that's breathing. I like to perform a breathing exercise where you hold your breath for around 4 seconds and then you release. And that usually helps with reducing anxiety, lowering stress, lowering cortisol levels, making you feel more comfortable, and just having that mindset that you are the boss of your resume in this interview. It's not just the interviewer is not just interviewing you, but you are interviewing the interviewer as well, right? You're going to be asking rebuttal questions. You're going to be having a conversation. Yeah, and don't even think of it as an interview. Think of it as a conversation. This is a conversation between two people, and all you're doing is communicating why you're the best person for this job, right? Why they should pick you over everyone else. Remember it's a competition. So you're competing, but you have to convey that you're going to be the best person for this job, right? So going back to asking the interviewer, this is going to be a chance for you to ask all those questions about the values, their missions, their purpose, the team, right? Make sure you get all of that out. Really, and if you don't know much about the company, this is going to be a chance for you to dig a little bit deeper to see if this is going to be a good fit for you, right? Make sure you're not dealing with potentially a scam job as well, right? So ask those key questions about values, purpose, where they see the company headed in 2 to 3 years, right? Which direction do they see them going? You know, what are your you don't want to ask what are your responsibilities and roles because that's on the job description, but you want to get a feel for how you're gonna collaborate with other team members, what departments are you gonna be working with, right? Because the last thing and the worst thing you want to get into is get into a job that you left a good job for and then hate right off the bat, right? Managing style is also going to be important. How does the team get tracked based on performance, right? Do they look at KMIs, which are key metric indicators, right? Do they log everything you're doing on your computer. These are all going to be these are all questions that are appropriate to ask during an interview, right? And questions that are necessary because you want to make sure that you're a good fit for this role in this company and that they're a good fit for you. Work life balance. It's a hybrid position. Are they open to working remotely? Is it on site 5 days a week? Right. Things you want to avoid. Don't ask about compensation. Don't ask about job responsibilities. You should already know this. Salary, you ask with HR after you get a offer letter. You don't ask about salary until you get that offer letter, right? But everything comes into play. We talk about body language, you talk about research, you talk about being prepared. All that's going to come into play when you're asking them those final questions to wrap up. So just make sure you're prepared at all times. You want to be prepared. You don't want to going there not knowing what you're talking about, not knowing your own skill set, not knowing the company. You want to make sure you have everything planned out, even if you have to write it down and put it somewhere in front of you so they don't see while you're doing a virtual interview. Like those little things just to keep your mind on track will help you land this job. Also be intentional, be enthusiastic, right? Don't be boring, don't be monotone. Be enthusiastic about the position. Show him that you're excited for the position. Show them that you want to be there. Show them that you're the right person for the job. Don't just be another feather in the wind. You want to show them everything about yourself. You want to show them what's unique about you, what's how you're clever, how you're used to handling stress under difficult situations. All right. You want to show them everything about yourself. Mhm. The party is here. We are live, baby. Shout out to my boy Guru Gaming in the chat. All right. So why does this all tie into helping you get the lady that you want? Right? Because landing that job essentially gets you the money that you need. Money isn't everything, but it's damn sure a lot. All right. And getting yourself a good career is a step in the right direction, guys. Getting yourself a good job sets you up for having disposable income for dates, having disposable income for just life, setting you up for a better apartment, setting you up for a better gym where you can meet more high quality people, setting you up for more networking opportunities. So everything starts with you preparing yourself for a better job and elevating your career to the next step. Right. And when women see this, they're attracted to that because it shows ambition, shows motivation, shows that you're prepared, shows that you're ready, shows that you know what you're talking about, shows that you convey confidence, right? Talk about physique. We talk about standing up straight. We talk about being able to be somewhat charismatic and just display knowledge, confidence. Not only will this help you for a job, this is going to help you talk to women too. You know, all of this ties back into just life. Don't just think this is only for a job. You know, you could tie this back into so many different avenues of your life. It's crazy. When it even comes down to looks, the cleanliness, your style. How are you elevating your style? Your style should be elevated every couple years. Don't be in the same position you were 2 to 3 years ago. Make sure your style, your physique, your cleanliness, everything's getting better. Your haircut, switch up your hairstyle sometimes. Don't grow your hair out if you're not ready to pay for the maintenance of it. I would say young boys should not grow their hair out. Just keep it short. It's cheap, it's efficient, it's quick. Call me a hypocrite. I don't care. But do not grow your hair out. What are my thoughts on athleisure style? Athleisure style for an interview or just in general? Athleisure in general, it makes sense if you're going to the gym. I would say, like, you wake up in the morning and let's say you gotta go, you're going to the gym and you gotta make some errands on the way. Athleisure works. But a lot of times people are so fucking dumb that they wear athleisure everywhere. Like they don't even be going to the gym. They just wear athleisure to the mall. They just wear athleisure anywhere just because it's comfortable. And I get it. Yo, it's comfortable, but it's supposed to be comfortable because you're putting your body through stress at the gym, right? Don't make your life easier than how it's supposed to be. Go through the hard times. Go through the difficult times. Wear a suit. Wear a button up. Switch it up. Sweatpants. Honestly, you should ban sweatpants on men. I'll say this. Ban sweatpants on men, right? Unless you're going to the gym, but ban sweatpants. And wearing sweatpants to the gym is risky too. But don't wear sweatpants outside, man. No. Keep it classy, man. Jeans. Because my whole thing is when you wear sweatpants or you constantly wear athleisure, you're going to be so comfortable wearing it, you're going to want to do it consistently, consistently, consistently over and over and over again, right? But let's say this one day you're wearing athleisure wear and you run into this millionaire out of the blue, right? You're not going to give off your best impression when you run into this millionaire compared to as if you were even wearing something casual, which is like your jeans, button up shirt, or a nice fitted t shirt that matches your frame, right? People are going to judge you based off first impressions and how you look and how you appear to them, right? So that is all going to matter when you're meeting somebody. And if you're not always giving yourself the best opportunity to be successful when those opportunities come to you, then you're doing yourself a disservice, especially when you're hitting a spot like the mall. Right? If you're going to the mall, you don't have to be in your Sunday's best, but you got to look decent because you just never know who's going to be there. You never know what type of opportunities or people you'll meet. And so, with that, especially as a guy, right, you just want to look your best at all times. You don't want to be on no bullshit. You want to look your best. Joggers, joggers similar to sweatpants. They are very similar to sweatpants, but some joggers you can get away with, right? Like the cargo ones are cool. It just really depends. I just wouldn't wear anything that when people see you, you look extra comfortable, right? So that's my main thing. Don't look extra comfortable like you wore the same shit. Like you could wear this outfit twice and nobody would notice, right? Wear something that you know is going to help you stand out, pop a little bit more. And that's it, man. You always want to look your best because you never know who you're going to run into. Right? You could run into your next employer. You never know. You'll be at the mall and let's say you got a suit on at the mall, right? Looking good. You just got a suit on. Do you think people would be less likely to give you a working opportunity compared to the man who is in sweatpants? No. They're gonna be more likely to hire you based on your first appearance, right? Because wearing a suit shows that you know how to put yourself together. It shows that you have some semblance of style. Wearing sweatpants just shows that you're comfortable, right? You enjoy the easy route. Wearing a suit isn't the easiest thing to do. So it's a little bit more respected. When people see a man in a suit, they see someone who they could like count on, rely on, listen to. They'll take your advice more seriously than they would if you were wearing sweatpants. It's sad, but it's just the truth. It's just first impressions. We don't talk about how nobody judges, but everybody judges, man. Everybody judges everybody. Mm-mm-mm. All right, guys. We're gonna see. We're supposed to get some guests in here. We're gonna see what is going on. I want to give you guys good content, though. I want to make sure everything is high quality. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I tried to get through that pretty quickly and just give you some tips on just how to land that job and why that's important when you want to get that lady, man. Mm-mm. But shout out to my boy Goo Gaming coming through with the comments, coming through with the questions. And if you guys have any comments, you're watching this pre-recorded, leave them, in the comment section. I look at all my content right now. I'm looking at everything. But yo, I'm looking at everything and anything right now. So if you guys have anything you want to ask me, just let me know. I'm checking out everything. Style is key. First impressions are key. Mm-mm. We will give this a couple more minutes, see if we have this guest arrive, guys. Sometimes, you know how these ladies are, man. They are flaky. You try to book them for an interview, you get flaked on sometimes. It is what it is, man. But we will see, guys. Some of these ladies are nervous. It's just little old me, man. We'll give it a few more minutes though, see if we get some guests in here. But if you guys are checking this out, subscribe to the channel, guys. Come on. Road to 1K. I need 1,000 subscribers. Also looking for any video editors, thumbnail creators, guest bookers, assistants, just any assistance in general, any help that you guys can offer, let me know. Trying to grow this channel. Going live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Damn, I wish I could play music on here, guys, but I fucking can't. I can't play any music. Can't do anything. Kill the time. If you guys have any topics you want me to talk about, send that my way too. Anything you feel like you want to discuss, whether it be dating, finances, relationships, fitness, send me all that. I'm here talking about all that. See this camera angle. Not bad, not bad. What are my thoughts on gamers and dating? I mean, that would be same for my thoughts on dating in general. You know, there's become the best gamer, get the best, get the best girl. I mean, it all depends. You know, if you want to game as a career, just become the best at it. That's it. So it really is to it. Yeah. But most people don't become successful at gaming, which is so difficult. So difficult. Hold on. All right. Well, guys, I think that's gonna wrap up this episode. Uh, Stay tuned for more episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're going live, but we're out of here right now. Thanks for coming. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And don't worry, guys, more content is coming on the way. These ladies could be flaky, but I'm trying my best here. All right. Catch you guys later this week, Wednesday at 7:30. Stay tuned. We got another episode, another topic to talk about. Probably something dealing with dating. It's Wednesday. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. We are out of here.